Yo, yo. Whoa, sorry about that. Yo, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, what up? How are you? Welcome to Kenji's world. Kidding, I'm not gonna go. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? What's going on? Kenji's world. Thanks so much for coming back. All that are watching, click like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you're checking out for the first time, I'm your very host, Kenji's world. Thank you so much for joining us. Here we rant, we discuss, we share, talking and expressing about the nature of the spiritual journey of man here on earth as we embark on all these other facets. Because we can get caught up. You can get caught up in the life of man. You can get caught up in the life of man. What I mean by that, or where I'm coming from, is business right now. Business. There's all these things happening. Business, which is cool. Business, learning a lot. But what is all that business meant to be able to support? Is it the overarching end all is all? Not to me. It's there to facilitate a function, and for sure you want to be doing some sort of business that you like and you enjoy, and it feels like it's bringing out something that you're good at to the world. So but I think it's important to reevaluate those things for yourself. And even if you're in business, always talking about taking a step back and reassessing, am I going where I want to be going? Because there's so many times, and I use a metaphor of business, but there's so many times when you're looking to go somewhere at the very beginning, you got your eyes on the prize. That's what I want to do. It's what I want to create in this world. This is how I want to be of service. But then, and kind of like politics as well, I'm sure many people that go in politics will understand this, but you go towards that goal, but then to achieve that goal, you're like, oh shit, I gotta compensate for this, I gotta compensate for that, I gotta figure this out. Oh man, I didn't factor that into my plan. Here we go. And next thing you know, there's a possibility to just start catering for these things over here, because you're like, well, fuck, well, this is making me money, this is what's bringing in income, but the whole time you want it to be over there. So, and I just went for a lovely walk on the beach, had a time to reset, get it. The darkness is just so nice. I don't get pitch black darkness, but staring out into the ocean is pretty nice. At least you get a bit of darkness. The neighbor has installed a bloody pool. I don't know what it is, a pump or a regulator, a monitor. There's a whirling motor going on right outside our kitchen window. How fantastic. So, yeah, that's where that is at. Now, I'm sorry to pick my nose. Now, I'm just talking about the nature of resetting and always having time to re-envision yourself. Where's the vision? Where are we going? And I'm just asking, how you going with that, right? How you going with touching base with yourself? How you going with touching base with your vision? How you going with touching base with those things that are important to you? Like I said, to me, vision is also business is this tool, and it's a vehicle to try and help me get funds to be able to express a bit of, creative interest, my toolkit or the unique qualities that I have, try and bring it into a space where I can deliver it. And it's fun. And I just want to make sure that that's always aligning with my grander vision. For those of you watching, you already know my grander vision, but to be more aligned with spirit, to be more aligned with God, to be more aligned with whatever you want to call it. With the whole thing, because sometimes I say God, but it's funny, the word God. It can't just be thrown around all the time. You really have to mean it. You have to be in the right place, because when I say it, and even if I'm slightly not in the right place, it misaligns, and that may not be the right word. And that calming down for me is this real critical thing of being jacked in front of the computer and just going through so many things. And procrastination, I'm finding, is so easy on this device. Obviously, this is a self-discipline sort of thing, self-discipline structure I need to cultivate deeper in myself. But man, if I really don't have downtime, and downtime is time for being, right? Not doing, but being. And that's a very different, being is different. I might still be doing stuff whilst I'm in being, but a lot of that being might be very unrelated to anything what you would call work, or sometimes it might seem like work, like if I'm tinkering in the shed, making something, sanding, creating. That could be me just being in another state, or not doing anything, like going to the beach and just sitting there doing a little breathing, doing a bit of training. But that being, if you don't have time to being, I'm noticing on myself that integration it lags. If integration lags, and this is what we're discussing with our scalable business models right now, as above, so below, reflection of the fractal nature of things, holotropic universe. Now, if you are not integrating each part of your business, each facet, there's going to be communication, information process flow breakdown. And when that happens, the cart starts to lead the horse. Or you're going downhill, next second the horse is trying to hold that cart, but the cart's got more momentum and it takes off. And now it's moving. Don't you worry, that cart's moving with some goods in it. But now you don't have a horse to steer it. Or you're not going to be in control of it. It's going to have a life of its own, and it's going to start to do things. Sound familiar? Sounds familiar in my life, in my own world. And this body, this vessel is the same thing. If whatever that I is, right? If I don't make time and to understand the system, because the system can get overwhelmed. Look at it. It's a finite structure. The paradox of man, right? That we're tapped into the infinite, yet we're stuck inside we are vesseled inside of a finite structure. And the paradox of man, the convoluted understanding or a perplexed or confusing construct that we are trying to comprehend in our life here as man, is a very interesting one. But yeah, it's finite. The information, there's only so much information you can absorb. And it's very funny, the nature of rest. It just seems like rest, whatever that thing is. I'm sure there's science, I'm sure there's literature, everything out there, but rest, like you do 10 chin-ups, right? By the end of that 10, you beat. No way you could do one more. You start resting, bit of recovery, get your breath back. You're not pumping at that high octave, and you rest for a bit. Maybe you can't do 10 again, but you can still do more than you could have if you didn't take a break. Now, I know I'm just talking about very simple stuff, but the mechanism of the simple may not be as simple as we think. And that's all I'm saying to myself, is that I might disregard or not allow myself to have that time. I know I'm new PDFs onto my Kindle, but all this is happening. And if there's no time for being, which is the integration part, going for your morning walks or my nighttime walks. Oh, nighttime walks. Ooh, it's so good. Like, cause I do my sits inside, which is great, but nothing like being out in the wind, man. And wherever there's a little pocket of nature for you. I'm so glad the ocean is there. I try and get close enough. I don't mind getting my feet wet, but at nighttime, maybe I just like to keep it dry. But close enough where the sound of the waves is sort of more consuming than the sound of the cars that I can maybe hear in the background. And I'm looking into the darkness more than I am looking into the light of the city. And just that integration, take my glasses off. For those that wear spectacles, like how often we take in time without these things, of these assistants. And it's very funny. I spent about 3-4 months without glasses when my glasses broke. Didn't have them. I was driving as well. You know, I could figure it out. You calm down, you learn to see things. You realize you don't need every single detail to be able to continue to live your life. As above, so below. You might feel that somewhere. But I got glasses. I went back to glasses pathway as well because I wanted to hold on to my glasses case and be able to take time away from it, which I need to remind myself to do, so take my glasses case with me. But when I do, it's kind of this softer landscape. Sure, I'm not seeing everything in HD crystal clear, but I feel there's a benefit at that everything has a contour of soft fuzziness, a little bit fuzzy on the edges, but everything has that fuzziness. And funny enough, my first spiritual revelation came from me not wearing glasses, because I wasn't wearing glasses, and then I found clarity or focus in the unfocused nature, because I wasn't wearing glasses. Something happened where focus aligned, and I thought I could see, like physically see without this, like get my 20/20 vision back. Thought I was able to see. Wasn't the case, but I was seeing the metaphor, the language, and that's when it kicked in. Started feeling this metaphor. How language is all mere metaphor. It's all mouth noises to try and describe the plane of existence that we observe, see, and experience here and try and share to others. The words is the map. The map is not the territory. So you can say a million things about how life is, but unless you paint me a beautiful picture, and if I can't see, then it's not going to really make any sense. I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, but I was saying that it softens me a bit more. It helps me to see everything as a whole when I take my glasses off, and that seeing everything as a whole is so important, because then I feel that's when it puts things into perspective. It helps me relax more. I can feel how this tension going on inside my cranium, like inside of this noggin of mine, there's all this tension. But there's this tension looking, because it's so engaged, but you need to relax. If you don't relax, you can't engage or be, because you're in the being, but you can't be in a certain place in yourself, with the world. I ain't saying I'm perfectly present or anything like that. I know there's more layers to become present, but there's layers. And when you step back from the superficial, from just the face value of things, you step back, you see something else. I feel like that's when the metaphors start really hitting you. The cosmic language of metaphor and allegory start to permeate into a mind beyond the conscious, beyond that which is at the forefront and day to day. We start to mingle and tango with the energetic dance of life, speaking to us through people, through things, through waves, through unseen, through intuition, a twist to the left, a twist to the right. Why that way? Why this way? You feel something there. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm intrigued in that person more than that person. I don't know why that car is pulling my attention. I don't know why I want to look at this flower right now. Beautiful, but why this flower? I don't know. But who is that? You know, we always say God, not we and always, but God has been spoken of, and this is old God, right, as a man in the cloud. And of course people say, well, there's no man in the cloud. Yeah, there's no man in the cloud. Well, actually, who knows? But in terms of a benevolent being, a benevolent entity, a benevolent knowing, can you kind of feel how my words are just falling shy to be able to speak of this massive existence? And so sometimes God doesn't land because I'm not in the right place. It's kind of it's like a placeholder for an experience, or an idea, or an understanding. Not an idea, but an understanding. And it's funny because it's an understanding in a relationship that I have, right? It's not just understanding. It's very much not transactional. It is a give and take, but a relationship. And it's feeding into me, my family. It's everywhere. It's the interrelation principle, as I would like to call it, that binds all things. So, Kenji's Rants, Kenji's World, that's what it is. I know that I want to start pulling these and putting it in and doing more shorts and putting up in socials and start getting my branding, Kenji's World branding up. But I don't think there's any rush. let's at least just make sure we get consistency. I think that's pretty important. I gotta remember to take this with me because I'm gonna have like 4 days away. I'm going into Brisbane, tech event tomorrow, do some mingling, socializing. Then I gotta go start working on this backyard seating arrangement out at the property. I need to get off coffee. Not get off, but for some time, just step away from it. Coffee feels like any other drug to me now. It feels like weed, feels like alcohol, feels like blah, 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 blah. The moment I hit one thing, I want to hit the other thing. And vices is taking me to laziness. A vice is a non-participation of wholeness. Is an engagement in vice. Is simple laziness, but also sometimes I feel it's the body's way of trying to hit the brakes because it's trying to stop you from getting overwhelmed. And I know it doesn't help because your vices are counterproductive to actually help the situation, but they can put the brakes on. So for that, I do appreciate sometimes because without them, I noticed that I hadn't had so much downtime. Sure, I shouldn't have spent so much time watching this or doing that, but realistically, it gave me that downtime. But yes, I'm not rejuvenated because watching something is not really rejuvenating for the mind, but it was a reminder that, hey, maybe my body's trying to tell me something, trying to remind me about something. Pull back, don't have to rush. And slow down. So the walk was nice, resetting was nice, clarifying the vision. I think I'm not too concerned about the vision. It's how I participate in the world of business that's been the biggest thing for me. So it was all good, but it's getting late. It's been a big day. I got a big day tomorrow. They're all big days. I'm not too fast, but physical days. So looking forward to it all. Let's see how it all turns out. I got some lists to make, but for that, everybody joining me on Kenji's World, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. You know me, I appreciate y'all being here for me to have some space to share with you. So I hope to see you again tomorrow. Check it out. Like, subscribe, comment. Please hit me up with some comments if you want to say something, if you want to hear me talk about something. Yeah, much appreciated. Till next time, you know how it is. Peace, one love, be the good thing in your life. I'll talk to you.